time to get your fucking fat ass in gear, motherfucker. It is Saturday, November 11th. Here in Canada, it is Remembrance Day. Taking some time to remember all the brave vets that gave their lives so we have freedom. They rose up against evil back in World War II. I think my iPhone 11, I'm starting to notice it's getting older. I think it's cold out, so I think it's still frozen from being outside when I came here, so I think the video's a little blurry. I gotta tell you guys a couple of things. My stomach is really shrinking. I had my cheat meal yesterday. In fact, I posted my video. Never fails, and the next day, even though I take it in those carbs, I look leaner. So the genetic component with fat, my mother and my father, they only carried fat in one place, their stomach, and that's where I carry mine. I have a really thick trunk, massive stomach. And of course, it's embarrassing, you know, when you go out and your stomach hangs lower than your shirt and you gotta get these ridiculously huge shirts. So my hang down, well, my hang down one's my penis, but my hang down number two is shrunk a lot. The space between hang down one and hang down two has really increased. I'm getting a little bit of loose skin at the bottom of hang down two, but it's not bad. But I gotta tell you guys, my body's really hitting my stride. I'm gonna let the phone warm up so I get a clearer picture, and we'll go from there. I wanted to share with you guys again with my channel. I'm gonna be always completely honest, and my gut has always screamed at me. Whenever I haven't listened to my gut instinct in my life, I've paid dearly, and there's been many times I did not listen to my gut instinct. I ignored red flags, I ignored concerns, and I paid dearly. Now, my gut instinct has been screaming at me at the top of its lungs, get your fat ass in shape. So I just want to tell you guys, I'm mentally very, very hard on myself, but I deserve that. And I have to make my mind strong, and I have to make my mind strong, not just to get where I want to get, it's to stay where I want to get. I've had a habit in my life of yo-yoing, right? Doing really well for a while, and then usually getting sick or having a big injury, and it just completely throws me off, throws my diet off, and as soon as I get on that blood sugar roller coaster ride, I'm toast. So, but it is harder at 50. I remember times being a teenager, in my early 20s, before I ever even thought of taking anything. You know, I could not be at the gym for 6 months, and within 2 weeks, it felt like my body was waking up when I went back again. It really felt to me like it took months. It took months to get things moving again, and now I feel like I'm really hitting my stride, and as you guys know, we're over 6 months in. So I went from 340, now I'm 280. To be completely honest, I noticed yesterday when I was doing back and biceps, I had some video out on that yesterday on my cheat meal for a fat 50-year-old person, or fat fuck, whatever it was. It's nice to see the veins coming out in my arms again. I've missed them. It's been some time. There's still a lot of fat on my stomach, although I'm fitting into clothes that I couldn't fit into before, or haven't for a long time, but I want to get another 30 pounds off. But I wanted 3 phases. Phase 1 was to get out of the 300s. Phase 2 is to get down to 275. Now it's within striking distance. And then phase 3 is to get down to about 250. But once I completed phase 2, I don't care about how long it takes me to get down to phase 3. So the other thing I want to tell you guys is, if any of you know me, which most of you don't right now, I've had 4 pec tears. So aside from the pec tears, the first thing I noticed with age that was starting to go was hips. So even just a few years ago when I was deadlifting over 700 pounds for reps, when I was a sponsored athlete, I would do all these goofy exercises. One of the big secrets, so where I used to train, it was this amazing gym where I used to live. Unfortunately, my home life was just absolutely horrible. I was living with someone with a bad personality disorder. It's just a nasty time in my life. But I was training at this amazing gym, and they had these huge tires where people would do like the tire flips. And all these elite guys would be saying, dude, like, what do I do to get my deadlift like you? And I'd be, I was honest with them. I'd have my little bands and do my goofy little hip exercises behind those tires so people couldn't see me. But keeping your hips strong is really important for me because it was the first thing that was starting to go. I don't want to be one of those people that has to get hip replacements. And so I don't squat heavy anymore. When I squat now, my legs are very, very tired before I start squatting. And I really focus less on the weight, but more on using my quads because your quads are harder to develop as you get older. Kevin Levrone coming into making his comeback would be an example of that, but it is harder when you're older. I'm just telling everybody, you have to be fucking crazy. You have to say, okay, well, my mind will have to get that much stronger then. So maintaining my hip flexibility and strength is very important, and it goes very quickly if you don't maintain it. So now for me, I'm 50, as you guys know. I tend to overemphasize and repeat myself, but I live out in the middle of nowhere. For some time, just a few years ago, I'm gonna say between 2014 to 2020, I guess. 2018, 2020 to 2020 were really awful years for me. So you have to I got pulled down with someone else's problems, but I have to swallow that bitter pill. Take responsibility, even though truly I got fucked over a lot of ways, including financially. I just have to own it, eat it, and move on. But during that period of time, I was near the city where I was. There's quite the gym scene there, so sometimes I'd be working out and I'd see Ian Valliere, who probably has done the best out of any Canadian bodybuilder ever. I'd say Chris Bumstead. But I never, g'day, that would be the most, I never bothered them, they were always very nice. But I don't like gym scenes now. I got through a really, I have gone through a really jaded period of my life, so now I just want to live my life in peace and not have any drama. And sometimes being in the wrong gyms, you'd be surprised at some of the people that you come across. It's pretty crazy. But now I live relatively remotely, and it's a small community gym here. I have a good arrangement with the owner, and people leave me alone, and it's good. So as you guys know from my video yesterday, did my cheat meal. It's always amazing the next day after your cheat meal, you look better. But my partner and I, we went out, we had a busy afternoon. That's one of my rules too. When you have your cheat meal, don't do it later on in the day, do it where you're gonna be moving after. So you burn some of it off. And we were out doing some shopping, getting some groceries, and we were at a very, very busy store in this, I don't wanna say city, but very small city, not too far from where we live. And just the people in there was nuts. I guess, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know when Black Friday is, but if you watch people, go in and watch people, and you think, if you knew the people that would be walking around that are around your age, give or take a few years, for 50, it's like so many people are like really unhealthy looking, really overweight, and really look miserable. And you're looking at them going, it's not that I'm trying to judge. Nobody was fatter than I was. I can out-eat probably everyone in that store, but when I was off the wagon. But I just think, man, I don't want that for my life, man. I'm 50. I don't know how much longer I have. I want to fucking grab every motherfucking day because it could end tomorrow. That's more my mentality now. But when I see all these people, do that. When you go out, look around, look at everybody. Just say, wow, really? So I'm 6 months in, down 60 pounds. I got another 30 that I want to get off my body. And it seems like the harder you work, the more adept that your body starts getting used to holding it. Your body becomes very adept at holding on to body fat. So what I do is say, I'm going to challenge you, motherfucker. If fat wants to stay in my body, it's not going to like the rent it has to pay. I change up my cardio daily. I never do the same thing. And I always try and push myself a little harder each time. So it could be the salt bike, it could be the battle ropes, it could be the stepper, it could be walking with heavy dumbbells, it could be walking up hills, it could be doing long steady state cardio, it could be doing steady state cardio up hills. It might just be like a super long walk now in the cold, see how far I can go fasted after my workout. But if you look down and you see fat in your body saying, okay, now you're going to play my game. This is my therapy. Friends, the sun is just coming up here. I've already been up, done my workout, done my cardio, done all my stretching. Getting up early. When I was fat, out of shape, blood sugar all over the map, when I was 340 pounds, my sleeping was awful. I was a night owl. My sleeping wasn't good. I was snoring. I needed to nap often in the afternoon. I felt like crap. Getting up early and forcing yourself to go work out is against everything that your instincts are going to tell you what to do. When people are looking at me now, I'm down 60 pounds in 6 months. My goal is to get 90 pounds off. People look at me at 50 years old, by the way. So people look at me like I'm from outer space when they ask me how I do it. They're like, oh, I can't. Well, if you say you can't, you surely won't. Test yourself. Get up early. Yep, for a week or two it sucks, but when your body starts working for you, it's the greatest thing. That voice in your head that always says you can't and comes up with excuses, I get off now and telling it off and doing things that most people just would never do.